Super early. I got up about half hour ago, but I made it with all my stuff.
I'm like, Zach, wake up. Like, it's time to go. And he said, what time are we supposed to be there? And I said, 10. And he's like, it's only 9:30. I was like, it's a 15-minute drive, dude. Like, you should wake up.
I don't remember any of that. I bet that's probably what happened, though.
To define what racing is, you need a key ingredient, which is the contest of speed. But how do you become a master of that craft? What does it take to be the best?
Racecraft. It's like saying, what is a ghost? Racecraft is really hard to define. Yeah, you're recording? This is gold. Racecraft is the art of racing, to understand when to be measured, when to ride a percentage race, when to take risks, when not to take risks. That's something that you have to weigh up, and that's all part of your racecraft. Doing something I know you haven't heard before. We are in Olive Springs, right beside the Windrock Bike Park in Tennessee, in the hottest, most humid part of the US I've ever visited. Welcome. This is Young Talent Camp number 5 for us. Before we came here, we've been in New Zealand, Argentina, Fort William in Scotland, Japan, and now we're in North America.
So what is a Young Talent Camp? What are we even talking about? It's an opportunity to give 8 kids a ticket to the final tryout, where we will choose 2 young and talented individuals to race for the 2020 YT team.
All right, hello.
Hi.
How's it going? My name is Philip Still.
Nicholas Cavetto. Dante Silva.
Zach Gary.
Spencer Irvin.
I'm 14.
17. I'm 17 years old.
And I'm from
California.
Illinois.
Texas. North Carolina.
Brazil. British Columbia.
From this die, Sarai for SRAM TLD Racing, Valentina Hurd.
As a young rider, perfecting your racecraft is one of the most important concepts to be aware of.
You kind of have to figure out what's the best for you, and that only happens when you do races. And when you fail, it's a process to get better.
At the end of the day, being a great racer is understanding the run you have to put in the given circumstances you're under. If you haven't been racing all season, you can let it hang loose. You've got nothing to lose. But if it's the first race of the season, should you go for the win or ride within your limits? How do you adjust things when the weather changes?
So many variables. Injuries, track traffic, weather, conditions.
Suitcase.
That's racecraft. That's something that comes with years of experience. And the only way to learn racecraft is to fail.
Coming down towards the split.
But as a young rider, how do you learn from things you've never experienced? How do you turn your failures into success?
Who's warming up?
No one is warming up. Well, looks like one over there was doing like this movement.
Chris. Yeah.
All right, Chris, you ready?
Yeah.
But I don't think you can.
Shoulder. Your shoulder? Oh, no.
That old saying, patience is a virtue, is timeless.
You good?
Didn't give it there.
Okay, we move.
Yeah.
I think with age, you learn to become more patient
Good save.
just through the experience of previous bad experiences of not being patient. You know, I wasn't patient and I got frustrated and that got me nowhere. And they will look back on it in time and say, man, I was pushing everything. But that's just the nature of the beast.
Gary out here. Deadly.
Yeah, I think that's what I was supposed to do.
If you're not being patient, you can hurt yourself. But if you just keep like pushing and like persevering, then it's the racecraft. It's that figuring out that process.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Yeah. All good.
If you come in just flying and expect the turn to come sooner than it is, you'll just get stood up in the bottom, whereas if you wait, you could round it out and it just ends up being smoother.
It's really good you know that. It's hard to do it right, but even just to know it is super good.
Sure, you can ride way too fast through this rock. You might make it once, but not gonna make it through there 10 times doing that.
You good?
Riding above your limits doesn't ever pay off. During practice, you got to understand where your limits are. And that might mean coming off a couple of times. You got to find the limit. And then once you know those, you work within those. You don't ever try anything new in a qualifying or race run. You try what you've tested.
If I take a big risk, I'm only going to be able to gain a little bit of time. But in another section, you might be able to take the same amount of risk or less and gain more time.
I came into it a little slower than I normally did.
Okay.
But it was so much better.
It's about being measured and controlled, but when do you go beyond that? Risk versus reward, all those sorts of elements make racecraft a complicated thing to define.
What's gonna get me 5 more seconds?
Every year, everyone goes faster.
The hard part is
What do
knowing
I risk
You have
for
to
a
risk
race?
it a lot.
and then go into the drawing board and be like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Think about your run, don't overthink your run, get down nice and safe, but take in what you learnt today and try and put it into practice.
You nervous?
A little bit. It's not too bad though. We got another one.
Up the crash in the first corner.
We're not gonna talk about that. It's not gonna happen.
Slide out on my face.
3, 2, 1, go.
I do about a 15-minute warm-up on my bicycle. Then I do 5 burpees. I listen to a song, another 5 burpees, and then I get my transponder and get in line.
You got that down.
That is dialed.
20 seconds. Have you done this before?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Go.
They're all showing progression today for sure. They've found 2 or 3 seconds from yesterday, so that means stuff was learned. That's good. No, he's had a crash. All right.
Why you do that?
Huh?
Why you do that?
I didn't mean to. Ow, that hurt.
Look, the hardest thing to tell a young person is, don't worry, this will all come in time. Because for them, they're the oldest they've ever been.
Yeah, I'm not that good at that part, like the slowing down to go fast, because I'm kind of more just like a super sketchy, hang on kind of person, but it's so fun.
Zach's a character. They're the kind of people we love to see in downhill racing. You know, he's full personality. He's just the kind of person that you love to have in a pit. With Dante, you've got someone who's physically quite strong, and he's traveled to Europe and raced. I think it's opened his eyes a lot to what World Cup racing's all about.
It'd be sick to win a World Cup, but we're gonna have to see how that goes.
America's going through a renaissance in downhill racing. There's a lot of young talent coming through at World Cup level, and it's great to see who's in line after these guys, and that's this bunch here. At the end of the day, racecraft is the art of understanding what I need to do in a bike race to get the most out of my run. There's an art to knowing that, and I think you see someone mentally being able to switch off and go, well, you know, everyone's in the same boat, and let's make the most of it.
The guys are waiting to drop it in. Final run is going on.
Yeah. Me? Have you ever seen me nervous, literally ever?
Chris? Look, he's already up there. He's already in the start gate.
Huh? A little bit. Always get a little nervous.
You have to have a really clean mind going to the start house, because that's going to dominate your thought process all the way down.
2, 1, go! Come on, Chris. Let's rider. Go! Come on, Dante.
Once you're out the gate, that's it. And if you've made a mistake, how much did I just lose? Okay, where can I pick this up? Or, using racecraft, does it matter that I lost 3/10 there? And you will only know that from being an intelligent trainer of the course and knowing where your limits are in certain sections.
Finding your limits takes years of experience, and it's impossible to find them without understanding risk versus reward. The common denominator at the top of the pyramid is everyone is willing to work for it.
The pyramid is a very pointy thing. There's not much room at the top. So you have to sometimes accept that you're not going to be at the very, very top of everything you choose to do in life, but be happy with the goals you reach. So set yourself goals that are realistic, always. So keep working at it.
Doing something I know you haven't heard before.
3, 2, 1. So we're here in Japan. We're here in South Africa for the ytmobworldtour. Sick place, man. Super nice track, so a little sick to watch.